had a dream that I was riding on the back of a giant buffalo. And I had no clothes on. And I was just like, oh my God, it was the most incredible feeling. I've never felt so safe and loved and protected and warm. I don't know why I was naked, but Big Daddy Buffalo wasn't happy that I wasn't. Like, he kept looking at me. He was mad at me. I could tell he was mad at me. And he wouldn't take his eye off me. It's like he didn't want anyone to see that I didn't have any clothes on or something. I don't know, like he was like jelly or... But he was mad at me, but it's like I couldn't control the fact that I was naked in my dream. But he was going to make sure that if anyone was going to see me naked, he was going to make sure that they were only that they weren't going to survive seeing me naked or something. I don't know. He was very, very, very protective. Let's just say, like, the way he was stomping about, it was like he was definitely marking his territory, you know. But anyway, we got to this stream. It was the most beautiful. Oh my God, the water was so crystal clear. It was so beautiful. You could see every rock and like you could see everything. It was so crystal clear. And there was this shaman. He was like this old shaman. I don't know where he was from, but he had this like carved bowl, and it had like, you know, like Aboriginal art. It was like dots of animals on this bowl. And there was a turtle and a snake and a wolf and an eagle. And that's all I remember on it, but it was like little dot art on this bowl. And it was like turquoise and white and green and red, and it was really beautiful. But it wasn't drawings, it was like Aboriginal art, you know how it's like dots. It wasn't like, you know, a continual line drawing on it. And he put the bowl in the river and told me and Buffalo to drink the water. And I was a little bit apprehensive, and I sort of put my hand on Buffalo's shoulder for reassurance, and he rubbed his head on my hand as if to say, it's all right, like, we've got this, we can do this. Like, I'm here, I'm not going to let anything happen to you, sort of thing. And so I drank the water. And then he drank the water. And it was like we just turned into, I don't know, it was like golden transformers or something. Like, I felt invincible. I felt like I was made of like the strongest materials in the universe, like completely protected, completely invincible, you know. But the both of us were just like this golden light, just pure golden light. And he said, you know what you've got to do. But he said, don't worry, we're behind you. And he sort of pointed behind me and Buffalo, and I turned around, and there were just like all these, it was like all the indigenous nations, like, you know, Māori and Indonesian and African and Central and South American and that, but it was like, you know, all their shamans and seers and all that. It was like all the nations, sort of high priests and priestesses and shamans and all that. It was like they were all there, and they were all like laying things at our feet, like carved spears and greenstones and, you know, like feather hats and cloaks, and But it was like, and like these bone talismans, and they were just laying them at our feet, and they were putting their hands on our shoulders and their heads on our foreheads, like they were blessing us. Like it was like all the indigenous people and their high priests and priestesses. It's like they were giving us their blessing or giving us their protection or whatever. And I was starting to get scared because I thought, oh bloody hell, like, oh. But when I started getting afraid, every time I started getting afraid, Buffalo would touch me with his, like he letting me know he was there. Like, it's all right, we've got this. I've got you. I'm not gonna let anything hurt you. Like, and I felt it, like I knew I felt it. And then the man at the river said to me, "Now go and take this." And all the stuff that they'd given us, I was putting on the back of Buffalo because like he was ginormous. Like they wanted us to take all their gifts and their talismans and that with us. But the man at the water gave me a flute and he said, "You know what you've got to do." And then he said, "Go and play it on the Highway of Tears." And then I woke up. And the Highway of Tears is a case that is very near and dear to my heart. I've been, if you go to my Instagram, I talk about it constantly. And I've always known that I needed to start that investigation in Arizona and work my way up, like let the ancestors guide that journey. I've had so many jumps with that case, it's not funny. I know what some of the killers look like. Like, I swear I know. I talk about it constantly on my Instagram because ever since I was a little girl, my dad used to get me to solve unsolved murders and that with him. I think he knew that I could time jump because of the way that we used to talk about, the unsolved murders and unexplained mysteries and unsolved mysteries and that. And when I was older, I started training I started training my gift through watching like medical detectives and forensic detectives and all that. And then of course I started learning about the Highway of Tears, and I've investigated that thing within an inch of its life. And on my Instagram, I've documented time and again where I've had dreams and jumps where I'm being called by some of the victims to go and investigate using my gift, the Highway of Tears. And I keep having dreams where I'm being called by First Nations people and they keep handing me this flute. And I've always got Buffalo with me, and it used to be Eagle, but when I ascended, I've had Eagle with me since I was a child. But when I ascended and graduated, Eagle left, and I was told that I didn't need Eagle anymore because I'd become Eagle. And now I was being handed over to Buffalo, that Buffalo was going to be my teacher or my guide or whatever. And I've always known that Buffalo was my protector. I've always known for like almost 2 years, I think, even, that Buffalo was my next protector. I call him Big Daddy Buffalo. And I think, see, because I was originally supposed to do these, the Highway of Tears investigations and, the trafficked children in Arizona and all that, I was supposed to do these investigations as mysteries inside histories or historical grief investigations a few years ago with, people from my past. What was that? What was that? Did you see that? So I'm going to take that as confirmation. What was that? I'm going to have a look. But I ended up having my ascension, and like my gift, like everything changed, like my entire gift changed, like everything changed, my entire life changed. But I never ever stopped having these dreams and these jumps where I was being called to investigate the highway of tears. And on my Instagram I had a jump where I was talking to some of the victims, and they were showing me things, telling me to call for Tommy, and saying their names were like, Sharon, and, showing me some of the things that were happening to them and where they were going and stuff. And she handed me, she was saying to me to play my flute as well. And I think that whoever Buffalo is, I think maybe him and I are supposed to use our gifts, because I know he's a shaman. I know he is. I think he's South American. I know he's a shaman. He's from shamanic bloodline. I think him and I are supposed to do something with the Highway of Tears murders. I think we're supposed to maybe investigate these murders together. So it's like I'm being called to it. It's like they're calling me me and Buffalo. So we went across the water. It was like we were gliding across the water, and on the other side was children. All these children, and I've had this dream before. I documented it on this channel. It's like we had turned into golden light, and waiting on the other side were children. And I think they're the children from my dragonarium, the foster children and the unaccompanied border children, which all ties back to my grandmother tree dreams that I've been having since I was a little girl. The grandmother tree dreams that I've been having since I was a little girl led me to the children at the border just a few months ago. Like, I finally solved the riddle of what that dream meant, and it was all to do with the children at the border. So the buffalo dream, I'll put links in the description box, but it all ties in. The grandmother tree dreams, it's all explained on my Instagram. But I could, as I'm talking, I can hear drums. Dun 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 dun, like that. Bum 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 bum. Drums. Dum 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 dum. I can hear. It's like I'm being called. It's like they're calling me. I can hear. Listen. It's a didgeridoo. I think it is. Oh no, it's a voice. Dun dun dun. That's the drum. Dun 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 dun. I thought it was a didgeridoo, but that's a man's voice. Roll 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 roll. I'm being called, I'm telling you. And I think I'm being asked to use my gift to help in the Highway of Tears cases. If you go to my Instagram, it explains it all there, but I'll put a link in the description box with my buffalo dreams and the dream that I had after my ascension, because that was about me landing at the foot of a buffalo and being led to the water, to the children. Yeah, no, no. That's definitely a man's voice. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look at this back and see what that white flash of light was.